Hey guys, Eric Wistocastic back with another marketing strategy video. And today I want to talk a little bit about timing your marketing. As the summer goes on, a lot of people pause on their marketing because they get too busy. They pull back, they turn things down because they're booked 2 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 6 weeks out. And that's fine during the time. If you have to do it, if you can't handle the load, then you have to back off. Completely understandable when the phone is ringing and you're booked out 4 weeks to back off on your marketing. The problem isn't with that. And the strategy isn't with that. The strategy is when to turn it on. And most people make this mistake. They get 3-4 weeks booked out in their marketing, they pause their marketing, and then they turn it back on once they're caught up. And that's the problem because you've missed out on a few things. We only max out our year a few times. We only max out our capacity a few times over the course of the year. Most of those being in the midst of summer, heat waves, etc. And we get booked out 3-4 weeks, and so we pull back on our marketing. And then, over the next few weeks, we go down to 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out on marketing, and then 1 week out on work, and we say, okay, now it's time to turn back on to marketing because we're all caught up. But it's too late because what we really weren't seeing in those numbers is the deficit that was actually there. If you're booked out 4 weeks and then over the course of the next week, you're able to become only booked out 3 weeks, it actually means you had a work deficit that week. Not enough jobs were coming in to continue to keep you full. And so you are actually pulling that work forward in time. And what happens is we work until we get to the point where all of it's done, where we've wrapped up all of those jobs, but we've missed out on that key time when we had more opportunities to put on. And usually this time frame happens right around the 4th of July-ish. That week one way, week another, is when things start to slow down. Usually at that point you've kind of hit your max capacity for the year, you've hit the maximum you're going to do in the summer, and then usually jobs start to pull back as you get to about the 15th of July. As that starts to happen, your marketing has to start to come back in. And the reason it has to start come back in then is because you're actually not getting enough jobs to keep your board full. You're filling them with jobs you already booked in the past. And so because that's the issue, we want to extend our season as far as we can. The longer you can go booked 2, 3, 4 weeks out into the later part of July, beginning of August, heck, if you're lucky, into the end of August, the better, because those jobs then will carry you through the next months, and we all know what usually happens somewhere around mid-August into early September. And some years, as school openings have pulled further and further forward, we smack into it the first week of August, business dramatically slows down. And so any work you can have on the books at that point is going to help you get through that slump in the season and into the beginning of that shoulder month and off into the next season. The other thing, and this is the critical thing, if you try to time it, if you try to say now is when I need to have more work because we're just about caught up, you've missed all of the opportunity because the thing that was happening during that time frame is the weather moved on. And because the weather moved on, there's not as much opportunity for you to go after and get. So we want to turn that marketing back on sooner than you probably think. When you start to see the number of weeks that you're booked out condensing, when you go from 4 weeks down to 3 weeks, when you go from 2 weeks down to a week booked out, that's the time to turn your marketing back on. And as I said before, most of the time that happens right around the middle of July. Right now, when you're hitting that peak of the season, you really want to keep an eye on how many weeks you're booked out, and as it starts to condense, turn that marketing floodgate back on because you're going to get opportunities to get in those homes that you won't 2-3 weeks down the line, and you'll miss out on those opportunities that you could have stacked that would have led to a more fruitful end of July and August. So that's a video for today. If you guys have questions or comments, please pick up the phone, give me a call. You guys can see my number on the screen there, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.